See?
Huh? Huh? I told you! I told
So
you!
much better now. Oh. My God. My Lord. It's me! What? No, hey, no, I'm me. I was me first. I do it better.
He does do it better.
Dude! Whoa! Hold on, boys. It's gonna be a bumpy ride. Get off me, you bitch! What's going on out there? Whoa! Holy crap, look at all these explosions! Dude, this totally get Michael Bay going, am I right?
I mean, anything with Michael Bay going. Just throw a firecracker in front of that guy and you want to throw gasoline on him.
Did you see that last Transformers film?
I got a transformer! Forget all about Shia LaBeouf! I'm like, come on!
Oh no, I'm Optimus Prime. I just shot Kelsey Grammer with my hand cannon, yet it just looks like a shotgun wound.
Yeah, you know, you know.
Whoa! Keep your eyes on it! Don't look away! Keep your eyes. Keep your eyes. I'll never see you again. You know what? He does do it a little better than me. I still have the better hair. Give me that.
So what happened? How'd you get back on the TARDIS?
Because I'm clever. Programmed the Tardis to seek out an ally of mine to bring it to me should I ever be separated from it via teleport or time warp. And it seeked out you, which is highly disappointing.
Well, your face is highly disappointing.
Hey! But I kind of like you. You're cool. Nice posture.
Oh, why don't you guys get a room?
Anyway, enough of that. Let's get the two of you home. Come along.
Come on, Doc, put your back into it. Work that screwdriver. Come on.
Straight chart.
Being
Like we're recording.
I was trying to yell at this guy back here to do his freaking job.
Let him do his job so we can go home.
All right. So you want to do the third part here? Okay. So for the third part, we're going to be reviewing Capaldi's second season as the Doctor.
So let's go over the seasonal story arc. There really wasn't one. Not that I could see, whereas most seasons there's like some kind of overlapping like thing going on with like the previous season we had Missy. We didn't know who she was. We didn't know how she was bringing people back to life. It was all building up to the season finale. With this one, it looked like it was going to start with the Doctor's Will and Testament, but it didn't go in that direction. This season had more overlapping themes, perhaps. Seems like the Doctor, facing his demons and accepting inevitabilities are coming. Stuff like that. Beyond that, there really wasn't much of an arc. This season also did have a unique kind of format where almost everything was in two-parters. The opener was a two-parter, one after that was a two-parter, one after that was a two-parter. Which could be interesting, but at the same time, two-parters should be something very special, because it takes twice as long to do. And when you do a season of nothing but two-parters, they all come off a little common, I would say. There were some exceptions to this, as the season finale was more of a three-parter, kind of. And then the episode right before that was just some very strange filler, which I'm
No
gonna
more.
let Mike.
Sleep no more. Oh, man. All right, so Doctor Who is known for having some very strange and unusual antagonists for the Doctor to face. Like you have mannequins that are coming to life and stuff. But nothing can equal the stupidity and how incredibly, horribly written the villains to this episode were. Freaking Eye Crust was the villain! Eye crust, the shit that's in the corner of your eye when you wake up in the morning, collected together in a sentient, conscious life form, trying to kill people. What the hell has happened in here? I mean, the episode started off with kind of an interesting concept, the idea of condensing like a month or 2 months of sleep into just a few hours, and I thought they were heading towards a direction of like, well, if you cut off traditional REM sleep cycles and push it all together, that maybe that can create some kind of crazy confusion in the brain, maybe hallucinations. I thought that's where they're going, like, space madness type of thing. But no, they went with eye crust. Almost convinced me to stop watching the show. Moffat!
Good ideas, poor execution. That's how I would describe this season. We saw some of that in the last season too, I think, and this season I think it just came to a head. Which is not to say there weren't some good episodes in the season. There were some good episodes in the season, but they didn't come until later, towards the end. I think that's when we got our best seasons, more in the second half than in the first half.
I personally feel like Steven Moffat was a breath of fresh air in the beginning. I think he did a lot of good things with Matt Smith.
Oh yeah, Matt Smith's first season, fantastic.
I even like most of Matt Smith's run. Yeah, towards the end there was maybe a few inconsistencies. I mean, Moffat started increasingly over time getting a little bit more inconsistent, breaking continuity and rules of the show, messy kind of narrative where things didn't come together correctly, or missed opportunities, which is the main theme of my opinion of this whole season, was missed opportunities. There's a lot of good ideas in the season, but none of them are executed correctly. Well, very few of them are. There's maybe a few exceptions. I think this was probably their weakest season. I thought it was disappointing, and I think that the longer Steven Moffat's going, the more and more he doesn't seem to give a shit. Okay, eye crust in space. We got an episode. Remember
like that episode of South Park where they jump the chicken's head off and just runs around and whatever it lands on?
It feels that random sometimes. It doesn't feel very planned or thought out, and things feel rushed. There's so much rushed stuff happening in this season. Now back to back, Batman and Robin style. We're gonna beat this motherfucker with. You ready? Whoa. Yeah! We totally miss each other's hands.
Yeah, it is okay.
Right.
That happened in Mighty Ducks, it still worked. Anyway.
Alright, so, so starting off from the beginning, opening actually was strong, I thought. I thought that the opening had left a mystery that I wanted solved. I was like, oh, where are we going with this? And we see Davros in the beginning as a child, and they have this whole thing where they're building up to the reveal of why we're flashing back to Davros as a child. And I thought they're going to do something like the whole, dilemma of if you saw Adolf Hitler as a child and he was just an innocent boy that needed help, would you help him? And I thought that would be a very fascinating thing to explore. The reveal of what that whole flashback is about is so anticlimactic and so disappointing that, this whole thing was just that the Doctor instilled in Davros at a young age compassion or something.
Just so Clara could get saved in this one instance, despite the fact that Davros and Daleks still have destroyed billions upon trillions of lives over the universe.
Yeah, why did this one moment of compassion not involve anything else in Davros' plans until now, and suddenly trickles into this and defeats his whole plan, kind of? It was just so badly set up, and the reveal was terrible. Once again, they start off with this prophecy that the Doctor's going to die, which they've done so fucking much.
Yeah, I mean, they did it with David Tennant, which, it was like his version of it, and they did it twice with Matt Smith. You can only do this death foreshadowing thing or prediction thing so many times where it's like, guys, wait a few years before we do this again. You can reuse plot threads, fine, but either you got to make it new and different, and to make it exciting, and want the viewers to, okay, cool, they're doing this again, but they're doing it in a good way. But if you can't, wait several years, wait till another Doctor shows up, or wait till after a couple Doctors, but stop this. Oh, he's dying again. With
the two-parters, usually they start strong and finish badly. For instance, the episode Under the Lake. That is better than Before the Flood. The first parter where the ghosts are in that underwater facility, it's kind of creepy, kind of interesting.
Yeah, it feels like classic Doctor Who. They're stuck in an area, there's some kind of thing coming at them, they gotta figure out what it is, how it was made. But then the second part was it felt like an entirely different episode.
It had some tension and stuff like that. It's just that, once again, though, we have this prophesized death of the Doctor. Are we going to do this every freaking episode, Moffat? Another wasted thing here, Maisie Williams.
I know! Everybody was so excited. For a year ago, Maisie Williams, who most of you know from Game of Thrones, she was announced that she was going to be on Doctor Who, and that her character was going to be very important. Well, her character was important, but honestly, after the initial episode, the more I saw of her, the more or less disinterested I became with her character. Her character just didn't really,
it just felt so random that he even decided to make her immortal to begin with. There are rules to when he saves people. Whenever he's broken them in the past, he's suffered consequences.
Yeah.
And it's like, who are you to decide that you're going to make this girl immortal? And it doesn't seem like something the Doctor would do.
Yeah, especially someone who's been alive for well over 2,000 years and knows how that can mess with you.
One of the major points of the character is that he has this deep, dark depression because of how long he's lived and all the people he's lost in
And
his
he would do
life.
that to someone else.
Yeah, it just didn't make sense to me.
And they're trying to say that the whole thing ties back to, like, the face of Peter Capaldi, that, like, somehow he learned that it was okay to break the rules sometimes during the Pompeii incident.
Yeah, that was... Yeah, and then they said that this wasn't there was covered in the previous season, that the reason why Peter Capaldi's face looks like previous characters we've seen in the universe. And that's the reason the Doctor can suddenly choose a face. That's what kind of made it out to be. It's like, what? Why?
But then their explanation for it, it's very brushed over, like most things in the season. It's rushed, it isn't explained properly, and he makes this huge, massive decision for this girl. This little girl, innocent girl, who doesn't even get a say in it. And then in the second parter to this, the woman who lived, they skip over centuries of her being alive. We miss all this development of how she reaches this point where she basically is assisting an alien race in conquering the human race. And then, very willy-nilly, the Doctor makes some kind of speech and magically convinces her to turn back to the good side and turn against the aliens. I didn't buy that at all. And that happens a lot in this season also. There's another example of this later. The Doctor sometimes makes these speeches. They're supposed to be so amazing that it will change someone's entire nature. Her nature at that point, I'm pretty sure she had enough time to think about what she was doing.
Yeah,
she had enough time to premeditate, this whole destruction of the Earth. What do you say that convinced her to change her mind? I don't get it.
Yeah, it should have been... They should have cut certain fat in that episode and stretched out the point from the point that she makes a decision to the point that she turns back. It was kind of cool in that episode to see two of them play off each other and, like, become thieves for a scene. But cut some of the fat off the episode, like 10 minutes worth, and put more of the Doctor, like, of her transitioning, like, show the gears starting to turn in her head. With this, it was like a switch. It was like, oh, wait, killing people is bad. No. It needed to be handled a lot better.
And honestly, this ties into an issue I have with the next two-parter, the Zygon invasion, Zygon inversion. I know that you will defend this, but there's a scene very much like the one I just described where someone has pretty much decided that they're going to destroy the human race. It's pretty premeditated. They have a massive plan to do this, and the Doctor gives this huge speech that's supposed to change their entire nature, everything that they've been thinking about, for years to make this happen. And I know that you will support this speech. I think it's well performed by Peter Capaldi. I think he does a great job, but once again, I think it's lazy writing.
I think personally, I'm saying it right now, possibly my favorite moment in Doctor Who. I'm going to say it. I thought it was well written, well acted.
I totally disagree.
I thought it was beautiful. This scene is at least, I think it was 4.5 minutes long, where it's like when the Doctor finds out the shield is what do, like they spend like maybe a minute talking. I think that's what made a big difference. This whole thing, like he looks in her eyes, he talks, he's like, you don't want to do this. War is not, you don't know who's going to die. You're going to die stupid.
But she already knows all this shit. Like, it's so obvious, and she's had years to think about this.
No, it seems like, from my point of view, it didn't seem like she actually thought it out. We've seen the Doctor talk his way out of situations before.
Yeah.
I thought it was a lot better well-handed than with the shield issue.
Well, here's the one thing I'll say for it. I will say that it was well performed, and it also told us some things about the Doctor's inner thoughts that we didn't know before. Like, we got to see a little sense of how he felt about the whole incident with Gallifrey, about having to side against it in the Time War. There was some things that were revealed about him on a character level that was good. It was a good character piece moment, but it did not make sense to me that it would motivate this Zygon from going through with this decision. I don't buy that. But a lot of people say this is the highlight of the season. I thought it was an okay episode. I mean, like, it wasn't great, it wasn't bad, it was okay.
I thought there was good tension in the two-parter, because this is about it's like, usually when they have war on Earth from aliens, it's like, boom, the aliens are here, they show up when we're attacking. With this one, they build it up. It's like, okay, we haven't hit the war yet, but we are at DEFCON 5 or DEFCON 1, I can't remember which way it fucking goes.
In Doctor Who, usually at this point in the season, we're starting to get this sense that we're coming to the end. There's some kind of arc that is slowly unwinding, and we're feeling like this impending doom, especially when a companion's about to leave. This season, it's out of nowhere. The episode Face the Raven, I didn't even realize that this was the episode where we were going to start dealing with Clara leaving. I had no idea. And when it happened, I was like, we're doing that now? It's happening right now? Okay, the Impossible Girl that is the longest running companion in the Revival series, we're okay, this season is just so random. It was totally Diagon Alley from Harry Potter. With Maisie Williams running the whole damn thing. And again, she feels like she came out of nowhere again.
Yeah, I know. And when in regards to the Clara thing, there are points in the season where she would remark that the Doctor will figure out a way how to get us out of this. The Doctor will figure out a way to fix it. He always does. He always does it. So it shows that she is incredible, possibly overconfidence in the Doctor, but she never indicated before that she was being all, like, careless about how she approached things and stuff, which is kind of, like, disappointing for Clara's going out. That she's like, oh, I could totally almost, like, I could give myself a death sentence. It's okay. The Doctor will get me out of it. It's
and also for a side character that I didn't even remember. Like this guy, Riggsy, I think his name was, or something?
Yeah.
I couldn't remember who the hell that was.
It would have been cool if they done something better with Shielda, made her a more interesting character, like a real friend ally that both of them really look forward to it, and it was like it was instead that she had to save Shielda instead. That would have been cool. It was Riggsy, like, I mean, he's not a bad character, but he's only in one episode before. It's not really a character where, like, damn, they killed Riggsy. Whoa!
Yeah. I mean, the one thing I liked about it is I liked when she told the Doctor to not avenge her death.
Yeah.
That was fine.
Yeah, they had a nice little moment there. That was cool.
Now, what repairs some of this, of course, is the following two parts. And the second part to this, Heaven Sent, that's my favorite episode of the season.
Really cool episode.
It's very cerebral and psychological. You see the Doctor broken down in a way you've never seen him before, where he's about to completely give up on life. And, he's stuck in this loop of constantly being stuck in this maze and trying to find his way out. And, having this thing slowly... I loved how there was, like, these monitors everywhere that would show where it was. Yeah. It was so creepy just knowing it was coming and stuff like that. It really was creepy, and it was a huge character piece. Like, because he was doing, like, an inner monologue the whole time, and sometimes we would jump inside his mind, which his mind was, like, visually represented by the Tardis, and he'd work out problems within, like, a 5-second period of time, and it would be, like, a 2-minute thing of him just working it out, like Sherlock Holmes style.
Yeah, that was really... At first it was confusing, because when you come back, you're like, wait, is he still in the castle? Is he back in the TARDIS? And it's like, oh, this is how your brain works.
And then we move into the final season finale of Hellbent. Okay. Which out of nowhere, they cram Gallifrey's return back in. Now, Gallifrey... was set up that the Doctors, they saved it in the 50th anniversary, and it's been kind of like in limbo state somewhere. Yeah. And, I thought that Series 9, Capaldi's first season, was going to be about the search for Gallifrey, but they never really addressed it. And I was like, did they just forget about it? And then out of nowhere, they cram it into the season finale. No setup for it. Nothing building to this.
Rassilon!
Okay. Yeah, even Rassilon, like, they just very, very rush him out of the show. Like, he's still the leader of Gallifrey, and he tries to turn against the Doctor when the Doctor returns to Gallifrey, and then the Doctor is just, has a mutiny, and he just gets cast out. It's like they resolved that storyline so easily. You could have had a whole season be just about the search for Gallifrey and have Rassilon be the villain of the season. Yeah. And Timothy Dalton, if they could have gotten him back, that would have been great. Yeah. But cramming at the end here, it was just like, what?
Yeah, it was nice to have Gallifrey back and that to be maybe this thing to kick off the finale. But once, I totally agree with Mike. I think there should have been more lead up to it. As far as I can tell throughout the season, there was no indication. I mean, maybe there were Easter eggs here and there that I didn't notice. I don't know, but I didn't see it. It was a unique episode in the sense that there really wasn't an antagonist. It was just more the Doctor trying to outrun fate. That, he's going to have to give up Clara, and there's no way around it. So that was kind of unique.
The way they finally resolved Clara is also almost as unsatisfying as how they left her off in the Raven episode. I mean, it's still unsatisfying. It's just like, okay, she basically, is telling the Doctor how important it is that she goes back to die like she's supposed to, but then when she gets her own TARDIS, she's like, I can put it off.
Yeah.
It can wait.
Yeah, even the Doctor's like, oh, we have to race to the end of time itself, so, like, shit doesn't catch up to you. It's just like, okay. She's not at the end of time itself. She's in a flying 50s diner throughout time and space. Was like, once again, Doctor Who.
Couldn't they just continue their adventures together since she's putting it off anyway? Like, it didn't really make any sense. And then Maisie Williams finishing her story with her becoming her companion, it just was like, what? And then Doctor
Who's the Doctor in that relationship? Is Maisie Williams a Doctor because now she's like 80, 100 million, mega billion years old? Or is Clara more the Doctor just because she's got the time traveling experience? Are they equals?
I don't know, man. And then the Doctor forgetting about Clara. I don't know.
Clara's more like the Doctor, but like Maisie would be more.
Yeah, but then having the Doctor get the amnesia thing and forget all about Clara. There's a lot of stuff they threw together at the end there.
The hybrid thing.
Yeah, the hybrid
came
thing
out of
nowhere.
freaking nowhere.
Yeah, the hybrid.
That should have been the seasonal arc. The hybrid. What is it? Is it coming for us? Does it come from Gallifrey? What's the hybrid?
You suddenly, at the very end of the season, throw in this hybrid storyline that Gallifrey is desperate to seek this prophecy where there's apparently a hybrid that's supposed to bring destruction or something like that upon them.
Yeah.
And I don't understand. It was thrown together so fast, but apparently that's why they were trying to get the Doctor back. I guess it's very glossed over. It was not handled well at all. Moffat! Then we have a Christmas special, which I don't have a lot of review for that. It was cute. It was kind of very family-oriented, obviously. It was kind of childish. Yeah. They made River's song come across kind of stupid in the episode, but...
Yeah. The other thing, the assumption there so that the River just can tell who the Doctor is because she has like a whole album of all his previous regenerations, and she just doesn't notice Capaldi because she figures like, oh, he used up both regenerations, so this has got to be all of them, which kind of was like a disappointment for me because in the first episode where we meet River, Silence in the library, and she just sees David Tennant and just knows he's a Doctor. After that, I just somehow always, especially when we find out that she's technically kind of a part-time Lord, I just always had the sense that either because of her Time Lord genetics or because she's so in love with the Doctor, that she can just kind of knows the Doctor just by looking at him no matter what his face is.
Yeah.
And I find out it's just like, no, she just,
there's certain points
just keeps a photo album.
And there's certain points where the Doctor was even like, come on! Like the Doctor's like, you still don't know who I am, and as an audience member, I was like that too. I was like, wow, they're making her look really stupid here. It showed the final moments of them together before she meets David Tennant's Doctor, which is, I guess, okay, they had 24 years together, apparently, on this planet.
Yeah, that was nice. That was definitely probably one of the nicest things a Doctor could do for somebody he's loved. Just stay in one place for 24 years, because you know how he is. He's always on the move.
My general opinion of the season is just that I thought it was one giant missed opportunity that was rushed, sloppily thrown together, and is evidence that the showrunner needs to be changed.
Yeah. Which we're going to get that because it's been announced recently that Steven Moffat will have one more season under his belt before we move on to the next showrunner.
That's one season too many for me.
Yeah. Unfortunately,
I'm ready to move on, dude.
Unfortunately, we've got to wait 2 years for the new showrunner because 2016 will have no Doctor Who season. I know all you Sherlock fans are out there going like, we know, we feel you, dude. Like this fucking still.
I mean, I feel like we're talking so much trash on Steven Moffat, and it should be said that he, at one time, was a huge, great impact on this show.
Yeah.
He was basically, it's basically like George Lucas, you know? You gotta respect him for what he originally did, okay? But then he lost his shit eventually.
Yeah, it's weird. I mean, because everybody knows that Steven Moffat is a huge Doctor Who fan since he was a kid. And good ideas, but not really thinking about how they would work out.
Alright, this is a sum up. This sum up what's wrong with Steven Moffat. This is all you gotta say. Fucking Sonic sunglasses. Getting rid of the sonic screwdriver, the most beloved item in Doctor Who history.
He gets it back. He gets a new one.
He does eventually because he finally listened to all the fans complaining and bitching about it. But it's like taking away the lightsabers from the Jedi, or taking away Batman's utility belt, as you gave that example. Yeah, you can't do that. But anyways, I'm ready for a new showrunner. But this takes us into looking forward to the future, because the new showrunner is going to be the guy who did Broadchurch.
Yeah. Which that was critically acclaimed. So much so that they did an American version over here, which I can't remember what it was called. It didn't do well here in America, at least I don't think it did. But Broadchurch was a huge hit. David Tennant and Arthur Darvill were both in it.
The one thing that Moffat has said near the end of his run that I respect is he said that he would like the next Doctor to be a girl, which I'm totally on board with that. Yeah. Some people are against it, but...
Or a black woman. Let's get both of those out of the way, huh? About damn time, eh?
I mean, we know he could be a woman. I mean, like, the Master became a woman. I mean, and it would bring a whole new dynamic to the show. And honestly, right now, I feel like the show needs a huge shake-up. It needs something totally different. And my vote for who would be the best Doctor will be Tilda Swinton. She can be gorgeous and beautiful, but she can also be androgynous. And I love how she's mysterious, kind of like... She almost feels like a fairy tale creature sometimes. I mean, I guess because she plays, like she played an angel in Constantine. She played the Ice Queen in Narnia. There's something.
Yeah, she just doesn't transform herself. She morphs. I think morph would be a much better term.
Yeah, there's something magical about her.
And she's just an incredible actress on top of that.
Yeah, and we know she can do comedy, drama. She can do it all.
Oh, you know, be fucking badass.
Who?
Oh.
Okay,
dude.
Lucy Lawless. Tell me that would be fucking badass if Lucy Lawless became the Doctor. Xena Warrior Princess, Spartacus. You know,
Yeah.
she's in the Ash vs. Evil Dead show now.
Yeah, I mean,
Awesome.
She'd be okay. I'd be okay with it.
It took me seeing to see the Doctor interact, like, with himself, getting used to the
Herself
fact...
now.
Herself, you are... Thank you.
Yeah.
With herself, because now... You know, she's always been a man before in the past. Man parts, man body. The way people are interacting with her, like, you know, seeing the Doctor. I mean, we already see it coming. Doctor's gonna get hit on, right? They're totally gonna play. I would like to see the Doctor get catcalled by some jackass on the street, and she just, like, I don't know, sonics his belt buckle off and his pants drop just to screw with him. You know, I think that'd be funny. Whew. In that event, I have a whole line of women's clothing I've been dying to try out.
Oh, shut up, Doc, and fix the engines. Man, I thought even the 6th Doctor was better than this.
We look the same and you know it!
You want to really utilize having the Doctor's a girl if you're going to go that direction, and you want to have you see how this Doctor interacts with a female companion and a male companion. You also want to see how this Doctor will interact with Missy. Every companion we've had in Doctor Who since the revival has fit the Rose model, where they're young. Except for Donna. Donna is the one exception, but they're young, they're beautiful, and they're maybe a love interest for the Doctor. Next time, I would like to mix it up. Let's maybe have a male companion or 2 companions, or...
Yeah. I would like that. 2 companions. Get more fan... You know, I like it when there's multiple companions.
Yeah. Bring back Captain Jack as a companion.
Dude, if he's only back for, like, a few episodes, I'd be ecstatic. I mean, seriously, because it's Doctor Who, there's no reason why
Could you also imagine the interaction now that Doctor's a woman? It'd be great.
He's like, oh, Doctor, every time you have a new body for me to enjoy.
Yeah, it'd be
He'd
fantastic.
totally play it up. Oh, God.
Yeah,
I bet he'd try to get it.
Alright, so this is my vote now, okay? Like, he's now my vote for the next companion.
Captain Jack.
Yeah, Captain Jack. The same way the Doctor regenerates, the show needs to regenerate also. That's what I'm going to end on, is the show has to shake it up. It's starting to feel a little tired. It's starting to feel like it's out of ideas. We got to have some new stuff come in, new blood with this new showrunner. You know, get a female Doctor in there after Capaldi's done, which, by the way, Capaldi's doing a good job.
Yes, I forgot to mention that. Of all the crap going on this season we complained about, Capaldi has been consistently awesome in my book.
Yes, I will agree with that.
I'd love it for if it went, this series went 26 seasons like the original one, or even close to that. I'm totally excited. New Doctors, new companions, new TARDIS interiors, new screwdrivers, new villains. Bring back old villains, but with new plots. You know, let's keep going forward, because I'm totally down for it.
All right, everybody, so I think that's all we got to say on that matter.
Hopefully we're almost freaking home now. If this guy would just hurry the hell up.
How's it going back there, Doc?
He's not even listening to us, whatever.
I have wondered from time to time what it would be like to be a woman.
Anyway. Cut that shit out.
You all done, Doc?
Yeah.
Alright, go on. It's about time then.
Dude, final assault the Time Lord.
Stop dealing with just one of you. I gotta deal with 2 of you?
no.
God.
Don't do that, man.
Hey, don't you push me.
Been a long day, don't start.
Keep your hand to your side.
Hey.
Wait, what are you fucking doing? What are you
You don't like that shit, do ya?
Alright, you go first.
You look at work.
No, you go first.
No, I'm not giving up.
Okay, we'll count to 5.
Right, 5.
No, we're going from 1 to 5.
Stop it.
Hey, who invited you in this fight?
None of my shit, Doc. I know this is your joint, but let me handle this man. Do not call me Doc.
Hey, what the hell, man? Again? Again? After we just helped you? It's your fault.
My fault? What did I do?
I don't know. You're you. You did something wrong. You look like him. It was like looking in a mirror the whole time he was talking to you. Like, it's your fault.
That was my fault? They regenerated to my
it's
face.
your fault.
It's my fault.
Yeah, it's your fault.
No.
Hey, don't you touch me.
Don't fucking poke me.
Don't you poke me.